Hey everyone! So, excuse my voice because I'm currently sick, but today I'll be going over chapter 13 of our Drugs and Behavior textbook titled Opioids, and I'll be going over the first quarter of the chapter, which is roughly pages 288 to 292. So first I'll be going over the early history of opium. The definition of opioid is a drug derived from opium, such as morphine or codeine, or a synthetic drug with opium-like effects, such as oxycodone. Opium most likely originated in a hot and dry Middle Eastern country several millennia ago. For 7 to 10 days of its year-long life, the opium poppy produces a substance that eases pain and suffering when eaten. The opium poppy is an annual plant that grows 3 to 4 feet high with large flowers about 4 to 5 inches in diameter. The flowers can be white, pink, red, purple, or violet. Opium is produced and available for only a few days during the plant's life. It's between the time the petals drop and the seed pod matures. Today, harvesters move through fields in the early evening and use a sharp clawed tool to make shallow cuts into the unripe seed pods. Overnight, a white substance oozes and oxidizes to a red-brown color, and it also becomes a gummy substance. In the morning, the substance is carefully scraped from the pod and collected into small balls. The raw opium is the base for many opium medicines that have been used throughout history. Morphine is also extracted from the substance, and then heroin is derived. Greeks and Romans were unaware of the medicinal uses of opium during the Dark Ages, but the Arabic world was very aware of it. Opium and opium poppy seeds were traded with China and India, and these countries started to cultivate it. And then Dr. Thomas Sydenham created laudanum, which contained 2 ounces of strained opium, 1 ounce of saffron, a dram of cinnamon, and a dram of cloves, and when it was dissolved into 1 pint of canary wine, it was taken in small quantities, and it was a form of medicine at the time. Opium was also very popular with writers. Several English authors wrote about the joys of opium, and some people noted that due to their dependence on the drug, they couldn't write when in withdrawal. And then lastly, I'll be talking about the Opium Wars. So opium and opium poppy was introduced to China, but it was only used by an elite group. Tobacco smoking was popular, but it was temporarily banned in 1644, which led to an increase in opium smoking. People in China began to mix tobacco and opium to smoke, but it was eventually just opium. In 1729, it was mandated that opium shop owners must be strangled, and this was the first opium smoking law. Growers, shippers, and customs officers all helped smuggle opium into China because of how profitable it was. The British helped the Chinese smuggle in chests of opium. It increased from 200 chests in 1729 to 5,000 chests at the century's end, to 25,000 chests in 1828. By 1839, 20,000 chests worth about $6 million were destroyed. And then an incident involving drunken American and British sailors killing a Chinese citizen started the Opium Wars in 1839. The British won a victory and were given the island of Hong Kong broad trading rights and $6 million to reimburse merchants whose opium had been destroyed. The Chinese opium trade was a moral dilemma for Britain, but it was finally ended in 1913.